Ron, I'm streaming, eh? Dark Souls.
Super, like, we've already changed our weapon from the broadsword, but the weapon at this point, like just at the start here, is it's effectively taking care of the Baron Falls, essentially, like 3 hits and then so yeah, there's like, come back to the so they just use throwing knives or whatever. I mean, obviously you can just run in and just kill them, but I'm just being careful. It's easy enough to kill them. Yeah, if you already have a strength build, you already have a strength weapon. Oh yeah, that's true. Unless you've obviously been following the guide, like, word for word.
What the fuck is happening here?
It does get to a point, when you kick them until they shield up, very much like so much shot. But if you've been following the guide word for word, you'll be at this point anyway. So, you know, we just want to make sure that you're not going to suffering anyway.
Serious Dark Souls like PvP techniques that pivot backstab, practicing for the remaster.
Exactly. So there's a snow, that like the whole bit's a snowdrift. Run, it'll drop you down,
no.
so we're just going to pick up it's like 2 items. Now these fires and follows, they can drop the entire follow set
like that.
Yeah, Titanite shards and large Titanite shards. The thing is I have cheat engine on right now. It's 100% drop rate, so it just kind of every enemy will drop as much as they can drop essentially, and it's just to kind of show you that that's what they can drop. This is not reflective of your game, not even slightly.
Think of this as like a press demo.
Aye. So these are the human flies, and they can drop human time resin. I don't. that point, but yeah,
Buffy?
and then pick up.
Buffy?
The drop
Oh.
rate was at 100! Oh!
I'm trying to. I actually have no idea why it didn't drop it.
It did, by the way, you picked something up.
Oh no, that was it's like it's a dark text.
Oh.
Okay, so pick up another super loss now. We're going to get that item
Ah,
here now.
what
There's
the
a
fuck?
wolf down here, and to get that you want to hug this wall. Quickly kill the wolf as soon as it like as soon as you can.
How do you know
Make
that?
sure it doesn't finish howling, because if it does finish howling, you get attacked off like literally about 12 wolves. And if you look up on that cliff there, you can't see just now.
For La Liga?
A giant wolf will show up and it will fight you later. So these are like the tree lady things, tree women, and they'll drop alluring skirts.
Birches.
Okay, that's what they're called for now. These are birches.
Yeah.
Now, only the ones whose hair is like waving in the wind will be the ones that are like aggressive, I suppose. But
Yeah, those are the main birches.
fucking hate you. Okay, so if you run up here, like if you
Well,
go
I'll
even
just see me
slightly
not
too
fucking
far,
me
all
now.
4 of them get up at the same time. It's a pain in the ass. Again, if you're good at the game, but it doesn't matter. You can just
I don't
run up and
know,
kill.
some team from the American football, I think. What's the name? The other team is 3-0 now. Please tell me I could beat it soon. But whenever you make a best up, whenever you, okay, I put either team. I put either team. I fucked it out. Okay, I need Crystal Palace to win their game, so I'm working spot for the Wolverhampton. And I need Bournemouth to score a goal against Man City, but I need Man City to win the game, and you're probably making from something. I got all of my. I think it's also 2-1 goal for him.
It's not going to be an issue for you. Like, but just may as well stop playing. I mean, you could probably like, use a bow and shoot.
Blood
them
doesn't
or
know you
whatever,
can make it in
but
Mbappe
ultimately it's not
95.
like- So that was the follower javelin. It's a spear that you can throw. Pretty good.
Almost entirely useless.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, at least if you're concerned with PvP.
Oh, so by the way, all the wolves can drop Lost Fruit, as you saw there. Now, Lost Fruit will be actually quite useful for the next DLC, but so you might want to just stockpile them realistically. It'll help with like curse, because there's like bits in the next DLC that will curse you. So I'm just realigning myself with the body that fell down from the snowdrift, and these are like the 2 items that we saw. So it's always like packs of 3. One of them will howl, and when it howls, like I said, it summons other wolves. You don't want that to happen whatsoever, because it's a pain in the ass. So if you kill that wolf immediately, then it will just summon all the other wolves at one point. So there's another pack down here, as you can see. Again, there's another wolf that will howl. It seems, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like it's a little darker than the other wolves, and then that's the one that howl. So
It's bigger.
yeah, like
Darker. The other ones seem a bit bigger.
I don't know what the deal is. But these are pretty much the only 2
What
like
the
wolf packs that are going to be.
does a full ton of damage, yes. He has a lot of health. I hate that move so much. I'm actually gonna die. How did it die instantly? What the hell?
When you kill him here, you will drop large technique shards, and you can also just completely avoid them as well. You can still just run round. There is a point in this level where we're just going to completely fucking not working. Okay, yeah. So again, I want to recommend if you do this DLC just before you go to Soul Cinder. As much as the basic enemies aren't too bad, except from the Millwood Knights that we're starting up to. Given the upgrade materials that this DLC gives you, it seems to imply that you shouldn't be doing this DLC right at the end of the game, but that's wrong. You want to be doing this both DLCs just before the Soul Cinder, because you're going to have such a hard time if you're not.
Yeah, you're on the level of every single one of these Millwood guys is like fighting an ab.
Oh, yeah.
They're so unbelievably tanky. I think like that.
Damn.
Well, honestly, right, you got 100 and buff.
Yes, I got flung. Yes, that thing is so delayed. Yes, that thing flew. Yes, this thing is tanky. enough, another one of them, another one of them. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. That's not happening. Yes, it's okay, y'all, they have arrows and bows and shit. No, 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 no. I killed your dog, fuck you. Now go back to your standing spot. Oh no, you came back. Do these things ever lose aggro? I died. Oof.
Stabbed at this level. So we're kind of stealthing round, and then we're going up and round this hill. And this is there's like a couple of items up here that we want to get. But we're also getting shot from the tower as well, so you want to like avoid that. But once you move far enough up this hill, you won't really like see you. So I'm just going to speed up killing these trees. You don't need to kill them. You can technically just run up and grab the item and run away. But you'll get wolves chasing after you. You don't really want to have to deal with all these tree women and the wolves. As you saw there, there's some wolves on the cliff edge. You want to quickly kill them whilst you've got less trees attacking you. Again, if you're alright in the game, you can just run and grab the item.
Crystal Palace win is 3-1. Beautiful.
Not an issue.
Hell no. Not a chance. Ron, you saw that? Are you okay? Je moeg.
I just want to be careful. So, with these Millwood Knights, the Millwood Knights here won't chase you, so you can just run up and grab the item and run away. As you can see, the wolves are chasing me, and I don't want to fight the wolves with 3 women attacking me with a fire attack. That is going to be a pain in the ass for anybody, but you don't need to fight the Millwood Knights there. And a lot of this guide is, you know, a good guide will tell you how to do things.
Metal Gear summons.
Aye, you don't need to do everything, essentially. Now we're going to come up to this cliff face here, and we can see that Millwood Knight hidden behind the wall. Again, we don't want to fight any of them, realistically, but here is where we're going to essentially orient ourselves. Essentially orient ourselves before we make a run to the tower, basically, so just kind of showing you where we are. Now remember, the tower was, the Millwood Knight shooting you from the tower, but we're just going to run past it and some less gem behind this wall. So just don't fall off, we're going to do. And now we are going to the tower, essentially. Basically the rule for the tower is just climb right up to the top, and then as you drop down you pick up all right. And sadly there is a few Millwood Knights here that are just straight up unavoidable to fight. But there is a strategy for one of them that you can just basically kill immediately. So yeah, I mean, it might just be me that I'm super shit at the game, but you can see the Millwood Knights really give me an issue. And if they give me an issue, they'll probably give at least someone an issue. They're kind of like those, they're like Lothric Knights, but way fucking worse.
Yeah, see
Oh
when
my
you're
god,
lining
no,
up your backstab, by the way, don't aim for their back. What you want to aim, you want to look at where their feet are positioned, and you want to always aim for the spot between their feet. That's what you want to have like exactly opposite you. Don't aim for where their back is. It's the same with like Silver Knights and Dark Souls 1, where like the spear ones instead of the attack, so you actually want to backstab their back foot instead of their back, because that's currently the side on hitbox. So just make sure you're landing the backstabbing between their feet instead of angle back space.
You kind of saw it there, actually. Yeah. So the backstabs is definitely the best strategy for these guys.
It's the only strategy.
You definitely don't want to go toe-to-toe. And as you can see, I've got 100% drop rate on, and that guy just dropped the Titanite shard. They can also drop heavy gems as well, just kind of depending on what they're using. Now this is the strategy for the other one. This other one is actually a buffed Millwood Knight because he's got red eyes.
Oh,
But
fuck you.
he's standing right on the edge of the tower, so he doesn't aggro straight away. We're going to two-hand, and we're going to walk up to him. And basically, as soon as he turns around, you're just going to fucking spam attacks at him, and it should push him off the edge. which is basically what you want. You don't want to fight them. You just don't. You don't need to fight them. Even if you're good at the game, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get fun. Yeah.
Whereas all the other ones just seem to stand there as if you're going to hit them.
What the fuck is Casey Perry playing with my fucking... Fucking go, bro, let's fucking go. Yo. Yo, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? The aim is not there.
I was even using that as now our main weapon because it's. I think we picked up.
Thanks, buddy.
So we picked up the. Oh, I can't remember what we picked up. I think we picked up the Millwood Knight axe there, which is actually the item we're going to be using. That is now our main weapon.
It is very good.
It's without a doubt, like, of all the weapons that I tested, me personally, I was even able to beat Medea with it easily. Compared to other weapons, I find it a struggle. So as you saw there, we just drop down and get the crystals. By the end of these DLCs, you'll have so much upgrade material, you can pretty much do what you want. So, unlike the other guides, it was actually me that recorded this particular guide, and at this part I died, because I kind of misjudged something slightly.
What Tony's trying to say is that I wouldn't have died. That's the
So, right, you want, if this is the end of the game, you want to have the coiled sword fragment at the ready. At the same time, you also want to have like a Homerbone ready, but also this actual bit that I'm about to do is super pointless, and me dying didn't actually even matter. You don't even need to do this part, because the only thing you're going to pick up is a heavy gem and Homerbones. So I'm making a big deal out of nothing. Realistically, you probably don't even need to do this bit.
We need the Homerbones, you with the coiled sword.
Exactly, right. But if for whatever fucking reason you don't have the coiled sword, and you need Homerbones, these guys here that you see, I ran in too early. Want to wait until they're like a little bit further ahead, essentially. This is the correct route, I'm not sure. But you run ahead and you grab this heavy gem here, and once you've done that, No, this is the footage where I get caught. So I didn't leave it long enough for them to kind of walk around that building to the left. So basically...
No, if you'd have dodged that wolf, you'd have probably been fine.
Yeah, and then because I fucked this up here and didn't have... Yeah, now they're chasing me. As you can see, I fucked up super hard. Realistically, you could just get the heavy gem and, like, run. I almost could have, like, made that as well.
If you didn't get caught by that wolf at the start, just...
Yeah.
Sorry, correct edition.
So there you go, picking up the heavy gem. At this point, you can just kind of run away from this guy and just overload back if you have the power fragment. But like I said, they've now walked around that building to the left and used like a wide arc. One of them will might get taken, but it should be okay.
Buddy above. Yeah,
One of
I'm
them will, you might get chased off one of them, but it should be okay. Again, it's just Homer Bones. I have an amount of them. But at this point, you do want to go back to Firelight Shrine because we're now going to
Oh shit, man, should have got it red. Okay.
If you're doing it at the end of the game, you should have enough upgrade materials to fully upgrade the Millwood Knight Axe, which is what we're going to be using. And then you want to make it heavy as well, because we're going to be pumping all the stats in strength. That is, of course, if you're following this build, but if you are following...
Ah, how gracious. Let the... I only hope the... Ashen one.
That is, wasn't he?
build, then this is what you want to do. I'm sure it's called Millwood Axe.
Something like
I'll
that.
let it went right past it.
That's
Yeah, Millwood Battle Axe. So you want to upgrade that plus. So I discovered this for the stats that you can use this weapon at. Yeah, this is like a self-build build. Someone dropped me a whole bunch of stuff before I done the DLCs.
Pretty be careful.
So yeah, for making the Millwood Axe raw, there is no weapon in the game that does more damage, attacks as fast as it does for its stats as low as it has. Without a doubt, it's like for that. Yeah, this is like a real build. Someone dropped me a whole bunch of stuff before I done the DLCs. So yeah, for making the Millwood Axe raw, there is no weapon in the game that does more damage, attacks as fast as it does for its stat. doubt is like for that sort of ratio it is the absolute best weapon.
So basically you don't want to invest in strategy on minimus then?
No, you do want to invest in heavy. So we're back. So
I thought you said you made it raw.
no, I'm just saying if you made it raw compared to the raw broadsword.
Okay.
So we're back here where you can see that hidden Millwood Knight, and this is the hill that we were talking about with the fucking this wolf. Don't bother. If you're doing this guide, when we say to do it, you get nothing out of this fight. You get attacked off about 40 fucking wolves. The big one is more of a pain than it needs to be. The big wolf doesn't drop anything useful, so just run away. It is fucking irrelevant.
It drops glory.
I think it drops a titanite chunk or large shards. Either of which, it doesn't matter. You can buy them at this point, it doesn't matter. Unless something's dropping a slab, it's fucking irrelevant.
No, I'm not wanting to do this.
dropping a slab, it's fucking irrelevant. So we're just going to light this bonfire here, just because it might as well while you're here. But
It's another walk location.
yeah, now there's a couple of other items. Now this hill that we're going up to, this is actually the hill to the left of that snowdrift that we dropped down at the start. Pick up some black fireball. I don't know why there's of all the fucking irrelevant items they could give me, they give me some black fireballs here.
It's just filler item.
So as you can see, once you pump in a few more points in the strength, you can actually one-shot these guys two-handed. Now this thing, the reason this weapon is so amazing is it has a self-buff. And the self-buff is, it does this, you'll see it later on, when we use
It's all battle cry or something, isn't it?
something like that, but you charge ahead, and it has like this force, kind of like semi-force thing, and it knocks enemies back. Now this is the absolute fucking best weapon in the game for fighting NPCs. Without a doubt, it will annihilate every NPC or humanoid-like enemy just because of the amount of poise damage that this fucking thing does on its weapon art. And then it gives you like a physical attack buff. It allows you to like one-shot or two-shot a lot of weapons when the buff is active. And it's one of those buffs that you don't need any FP. It drains FP if you have it, but you don't need any FP to use it. So
But
there's some moves up
please,
here,
one more
and
goal, please.
again, there's only one more item to get. And I'm just killing these so they become less of a pain in the ass. I don't get overwhelmed from like one shot off later on. But the last item here, I'm pretty sure, is just some large Titanite shards. Again, it's an irrelevant item to pick up at this point. You super don't need to do it, especially if you're doing this guide when we tell you to do it. But there's the item there. As you can see, there's just a whole bunch of these birches to kill.
It's sticking.
so they have this grab attack as well. Avoid this. This should not have happened.
Should be well getting frostbite.
And this was so irritating because I was one hit away from killing it to pick up this large Titanite shard that's fucking irrelevant. Now I'm going to go down the hill slightly here, and you can see there's the snowdrift. There's
More wolves.
yeah. So you could essentially after you drop down from the snowdrift, you could just, instead of going round to Millwood Knights, take a hard left and run up this hill. You can do that if you like. Then obviously you miss out on the battle axe and all the other items. So that's why you want to do the other part. Because obviously the battle axe is fucking incredible. Battle axe is so good for doing the bosses. It only attacks ever so slightly slower than like a longsword, but it does so much more damage than like any other heavy longswords.
A lot of people underestimate like just the battle.
Like any other heavy longswords.
A lot of people underestimate like just the battle axe moveset. It's really fucking good. It's quick.
Yeah.
It's quick, and you do get a good bit of damage out of an axe with some nice investment. And that is 27. The weapon off of this one is insane.
Yeah, so
it's really fun.
even if base damage wise longsword's done more, the fact that the weapon art is so intensely incredible is why we recommend to use it.
What about that sick sword art online weapon art you get with the long swords though?
What one?
The one where you just like dash through people and stab them.
What the fuck was that?
You not seen the one? It's the one where like you hold it
Oh,
like
no,
fucking
sure.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then you do like the stepping dash poke thing.
So remember to run to the side there and pick up that item. I think it was a hollow gem or something.
Roger is coming.
Well, your lady
Oh,
Julius
Louisa.
Lord of Comet knows how
I
to
need one with just
Oh,
for
no
one
matter.
goal.
If you've lost your way, the work now.
So like the bonfire in here, also we've got to run across the bridge at this point.
Get the ring off this first.
Yeah, I don't know why I just my fucking words didn't come out there. But so now we're going to do the hidden boss.
There was was air quotations there. Tony didn't realise that you can't see them, but
I
there were air
approve Lord
You can
quotations
of
see it in my
Horrors.
voice.
when he said
I
hidden
know not
boss.
the
So
missteps
hit this,
which led
and
thee
I
to
mean,
this
the reason
painted
it's not
path,
hidden is because you've
but
already
thy duty
done
is
something
full,
like this.
and thy duty like writ I permit. Ah yes, a remembrance of this claim. Now thou
Ron, you're live.
No, I don't recall. When was this?
That really scare them. Shut up. Right. So you descend the ladder and it takes you down into the Great Hall. I mean, it takes you down into the sort of icy cavern area that definitely isn't the Great Hollow, apparently. Remember the Great Hollow? Do you remember the Great Hollow?
I remember the Great Hollow.
Well, so
I
does
was
the
there
developers.
I
They
was
can't
there
forget it.
recently and prepared to die again, and I just went, you know what? Fuck these items and just left.
So you can drop down onto this guy and do that what I just done there. Fighting enemies on these branches is super pain in the ass. Don't want to do it at all. You right off the branches as quick as possible. Now there is some Millwood Knights here that you need to fight that's unavoidable essentially. The running attack with this thing is pretty good because it's also got quite good range for like an axe type weapon. So it means that like you can get
Damage.
yeah, so you'll be able to like clinch on these. I think you can two-shot followers if you've got the buff on, which is pretty decent. And then that's without the buff, you can two-shot them. So there you go. So pick up the Ember here. Now actually die at this point. It's like there's so much variance, like in terms of what can happen with these bits. But there's an item up there that we're going to get.
Very good item.
So it's not that one there where it's going to go up a set a little bit more. But you go up here as a Millwood Knight Archer. You want to kill him because like the chances of him like knocking you off the edge of this fucking hole is like it's quite high. You really don't want to have to deal with it. So now you'll see me use this weapon and why it's so good against NPCs and again humanoid like enemies. Now this is also showing you the way out of this area. areas in Dark Souls that are like this, you can still get out here, like climbing. So you can go back up here and then drop down the ladder and go back up if you need to. But obviously, considering that you can just walk to any bonfire, it'd be harder.
Just backtrack, just TP everywhere.
Nice. So I thought that this guy fell off and died, but to my dismay, he didn't. He's still floating about here somewhere. Actually, wait, apparently it didn't. Okay, never mind.
He got you.
There was other times where I've knocked him off the edge and he was still alive. So basically, this is where I accidentally die. You can see how it is such a pain in the ass to like really keep track of. So you want to keep moving here, by the way, because if you stay still too long, this guy will fucking shoot you. But for some reason, this guy runs down here and then knocks me off the edge that way. Such a pain in the ass. You could use the cat ring at this point. If you do get knocked off, you won't take any damage. So that could be a useful thing to equip just in case that happens. So keep that in mind. But as you can see, I do the exact same thing. Keep moving, and the guy doesn't come down and attack me for whatever fucking. So I don't know what the actual difference was in what I'd done here, but for whatever reason, he didn't come down. So you want to be super careful with this guy. I mean, it's a total pain in the ass, but you can jump off at this point, and then you can just like take care of this guy. The reason why I wanted to kill this guy initially is because I didn't want him to shoot me and knock me off. But then, in trying to kill him, I got shot and knocked off. So, as you can see, there's a lot of variance with this particular area. It just means that you know, like, if you don't kill this guy, the chances of you being shot and knocked off when you go and get Follow Saber, which is a really great weapon, is like super high. So that's basically my reason for like killing this guy first.
Speaking of the Follow Saber, is it still good?
Yeah.
I know like for a period of time it was on top of the Carthus for a while.
Yeah.
But
They
I've not
nerfed
kept
it.
up with patches.
They did nerf the Carthus, and
No, I know they did that. That was like the last time I played was when they nerfed the Carthus.
but they just kept the Follow Saber pretty much. Although there was a thing that offset the Follow Saber that actually made it pretty. So you just kill this guy here, and that's pretty much it. So there must be another reason for this.
Yeah, the saber.
Oh yeah, right. So, yeah, getting the saber.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah, so you have to walk up, so the branches that you go to kill that Millwood knight that I killed, and then you have to drop off on this one, and as you can see, we just went straight past him.
It's just an alternative to the path that's curved.
Yeah, that's it. The follow saber is definitely one of the best weapons in the game. So if you want to, for some reason, like switch into dex, that's a good recommend.
If you're using weapon buffs and it's fast hits quickly, yes.
Okay, so something that I need to mention here is that the maps that were made said that those two crystal lizards at this point, like in the middle of that sort of icy lake part, I tried looking for them. I cannot fucking find them anywhere. So as you can see, we just went straight past it.
It's just an alternative to the path that's curved.
Yeah, that's it. The follow saber is definitely one of the best weapons in the game. So if you want to, for some reason, like switch into dex, that's a good thing.
If you're using weapon buffs and it's fast hits quickly, yes.
Okay, so something that I need to mention here is that the maps that were made said that those two crystal lizards at this point, like in the middle of that sort of icy lake part, I tried looking for them. I cannot fucking find them anywhere. So you might be able to find these two crystal lizards somewhere. I cannot find them. So I'll leave it up to you guys to quit and reload out and see if you can find them, but they just weren't spotted for me.
Sometimes quick reload doesn't work. Like it doesn't work on some of the lizards in the all the
the lizards work differently, not.
No, I know. Sometimes quick reload.
Okay, so before the boss, I'm just going to do this, like, basically last bit of exploration in this area before the next part. Kill these three I don't
birches.
Birches, okay, kill the birches. And not that you necessarily need them. See, this is kind of the point I'm making. If the fact that the game's even giving you overloads at this point implies, in fact you're getting like large timeline charts, implies that the game's expecting you to come here a lot earlier than you realistically should be.
Some people might have gotten rid of the coil sword.
This is admittedly true, so if you're an absolute spastic, then yeah, you might want to use overload.
Yeah, if you took the long-term loss for the short-term gain.
So this one particular tree is harder than all the rest of them for some reason.
My best though. I think I won. Wait.
this ladder drops down at what don't you do? So you can see that this ladder's quite lengthy. You may want to get my head and
I mean, honestly, just as a little tip to Bromso, you might want to consider something more along the lines of a fucking elevator.
aye, or some kind of teleportation.
Something that won't give me thumb cramp.
Aye, so please
Oh, and then you just put it all under.
I know.
Just a nice wee cherry on top.
fucking yes. So I mean, so like I was saying about the crystal lizards, at that bonfire down the bottom, they just quickly loads of crystal lizards go up. It's weird for me, but
We're still climbing.
yep. The map said they were there. I'm just saying the map said they were there. Okay, so now we're finally at the top. We can get this tight nice slab. So it is worth the climb, admittedly. It's just about worth the climb, yeah. I think I'm just driving stone.
Oh, that just makes it better.
Right, so this is a very small ladder, and this one takes. And you'll see now that this takes all the
This
way
is
back.
Stockholm. This is like, it's fine if it's a small, it's fine if it beats me a little.
so yeah, this is us back at this bonfire. Now we can just travel down to the next location and then go and find the boss.
That we've all been waiting for.
Except this boss
That's
is,
where we get to test all the skills we've learned throughout this area.
So as you'll see, the quick view one tap there, right? Come back to this point, and something this one that's not there. You able to see them? That one? Not there.
So before you leave, make sure you equip your stroke spell.
Yeah. As if you haven't.
You can follow me down to have it.
Yeah.
And you
Remember-
should use it, admittedly. Like, yes, it's a bit of a crutch, but it is fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, it is something that takes one mechanic out of the game briefly.
So this boss can be done at this point in the game, or you can drop down right at the end of the game essentially and do the boss then. But
Either way, you're going to destroy it.
yeah, this boss really isn't hard, and after playing it a bunch of times, I regret it as high as I did on my list. I don't think it deserves to be as high as it was. It's cool, but it's not a good boss. So you kill the wolves immediately because the other things are going to give you the hassle when killing this NPC. Now,
Which you will destroy because of the axe.
yeah, so that's the thing. I have to be really generic in terms of like how I talk about fighting this boss. But with this particular weapon, you will never have an issue fighting this boss whatsoever. You can just keep swinging, and he's got very low poise, and you can just break his guard like super easy with it. So, see, you can just keep doing that, and then just fucking destroy it. Now, the thing is that you do want to kill this guy as quickly as possible, because like any other boss, if you're fighting two things at the one time, that's when it starts getting difficult. So, with most other weapons, chances are you'll have a harder time killing that guy if you've got like a slower weapon, perhaps. That might make it a
Or
little
a weapon
harder.
that does less damage, because axe DPS is fairly high.
Yeah, exactly. So fighting this guy, the big wolf, is pretty much like fighting him earlier in the game. As he does that 2-bite attack, that lets you get in hits like super easy. So yeah, like I said, fighting this guy just shouldn't be too much of an issue. Again, double bite attack, you can get your hits in. The self buff will, make you do so. Champion's Ashes. Now, the Champion's Ashes, you burn it fire like shrine. It will unlock the arena for you. You should know this by now, but that's how you get the arena, and you activate the arena by sitting at the main bonfire. It's like the main.
Not for information on Valahut, by the way, we did a video on
Yeah. Yeah. So, at this part now, you basically just want to sink pretty much all the souls that you get in strength into the build, which obviously we recommend. So literally all the souls we get, we're getting in strength at this point.
You know what's really good about the belt? You can almost use the belt as a dex belt because it's still physical. But you just do top load of death.
Yeah, kind of, to be honest.
You just need to mitigate because it's extra stamina.
Ah. Ashen one.
Ask for heat. Very well, then hey. Ashen one.
You get a weapon from it.
Basically, the ultimate goal is keep body strength for when you're fighting the demon. And that will put you basically in the. As easy as. Actually, technically, the hardest boss is not the demon, but yes. So, here we are, we're back, we're part 2, and we're in Firelight Shrine. So we've finished dumping all our like points in the engagement, and now we're back to Rope Ridge, hang ourselves, in the Possessed DLC. You can hang yourself if you want, but I mean, don't blame it on us if we do it. We're merely saying that you can do it, not that you should do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're at the Rope Ridge bonfire.
Are you trying to pull the like, miss, can I go to the bathroom? I don't know, can you?
So you can go down the ladder, but you can just kind of drop down.
We've had enough ladders for
Aye,
today,
fuck
thank
the
you
ladders.
very much. Just fucking drop down.
So there's a crystal lizard here, make sure you kill it. But ultimately, it doesn't matter if you kill it or not, because it only gives you large Titanite shards.
Is that one marked in the guidebook? Because maybe it's just a misplaced mark.
No, it's well. It's not the guide, it's
Oh, the map, sorry.
yeah. So right, this actually gave me an issue, hilariously. Just be aware of this, like these two guys, the angle that he came at me was really quite annoying. So
Is it because you just charged like
well, it's not so much that, it's like his like you could wait for him to walk all the way ahead, it doesn't fucking matter. It's like it's two guys, but I'm just saying just watch out. So you slide down here and then you double back around to the right and there is a soul
that's
back.
an animation I haven't seen since Dark Souls 1.
In the depths. Is it not in this one? Anyone else?
I don't think you slide down anything in Dark Souls 2.
Can't think of anything.
Nor in Bloodborne. And it definitely wasn't the same animation if it wasn't Bloodborne.
So you come down this way and there's just
Loads of dead dogs.
yeah. So these are corvians. The ones that spew poison will drop. Basically, just drop dung pies or stop dung pies. A lot of them, so it really doesn't matter. Fuck it.
Just feel like collect shit.
Yeah.
That's the.
So there's a kind of optimal way of doing this next bit because you need to keep dropping down and running back up again. So
These are the other Cordians.
yeah. So the elites, these guys are actually beyond fucking irritating as fuck to beat. These ones are slightly easier. There's ones that have rapiers that are such a pain in the ass. The ones with the claws aren't so bad, but they only drop large Titanite shards. They don't actually drop anything good.
Maybe this area is like meant to be a metaphor for a really extreme class system. Because they're all Corbians.
What the fuck are you talking about? This area. So
all the dead.
This guy is friendly, and if you come here after being freed, you'll be outside and get a tight neck slap off. We'll show you when it comes to it.
Oh, you must be the... Oh, wondrous. Make the tales, my lady must see flame. You are surely but us, my... Oh, I am so glad.
In there, but don't rest at it, and you'll see why, essentially.
You bring back a Corvian guy for a start.
Yeah, and you're going to be dropped down, and you can't be arsed having fucking attacking you again. So,
yeah, just do this well. Basically.
You should... should have dropped off and dropped back this thing. Pick up this simple gem. Again, you don't need to do this if you're straight up a simple gem, but there is a simple gem. Those drop purchase ones.
What are they called?
Fucking abysmal, horrific fucking spider woman things. Like, the design for those things are fucking horrible. But anyway, so as you can see, from not resting the bonfire, that big Corvian isn't going to be a pain in your ass. You need to drop down yet again, so yeah, we're gonna still not rest the bonfire. Yeah. It's manga though. So the rest of the area is fairly complicated to get about, to be honest. But I should do a fairly competent route. It should be easy enough to understand. So we're up, this guy can attempt to push you off the edge, which you can ask him if he is. But jokes on him, you're jumping off anyway. So you get this item here that's like on that wall, that's how you get to that. Now, we're not going to do this jump just yet, otherwise you need to come up needlessly an extra time. There's a crystal here that's going to kill, and then it's like less.
Does that running attack ever look like?
Okay, so I do a really fucking stupid thing and run off here as opposed to just turn round.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the fuck I done that. But actually, there was a reason for that. Like this bonfire now, from jumping down. Turns out there was a method to that madness. You'd like that now, and then when you jump off, you can just coiled fragment back to it. You don't need to run all the way around again. There was a point to do it. I'm not an idiot. How about that?
It probably would have taken less time for you just to double back and then go back and drop down.
But then you have to run all the way back up again as well. Oh! Yeah. Okay, so you want to light the bonfire, get the crystalism, then just run back from the crystalism, then do this jump. That's how you want to do it. I feel foolish. Point is though, this is the second most...
Not as bad as Ryan when he was mindlessly swinging above the dog while locked onto the Kappa Demon and the Capetta again. Let's play.
So now we can continue on with the rest of this part. These two doors here are, I guess, shortcuts from sort of, just makes navigating the next areas a little bit easier.
Not that you're going to ever remember the layout of this area.
Now these guys are some of the hardest fucking enemies. Arguably maybe worse than the Millwood Knights. Oh god, right.
They have speed and range and mobility. It is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, got a lot of poise as well. Good for fighting.
They're real pain in the ass to get weapon shit like you get.
These things.
Oh yeah, but then do like sort of charges. You kind of get something in like any of the hits for what attacks I could knock them out of, but there really isn't many. As you can see, all these things just drop down pies and stuff. Now I'm coming up to this gate here, and then to the right cliff wall, I kind of just drop down and picking up this dark temple, just save the later essentially. Might as well just get that enemy out of the way, which is why I came up running it now. So there's like a little alcove in at the side, that's where this bit is. You want to actually kill all these guys, otherwise they're just going to be a total pain in the arse. They kind of all clump up here, because sometimes you need to like drop back down here again and run round. So if you kill them, it just makes like dealing with them easier. Because like I said, they all clump up. Yeah, see what I mean? They keep doing this kind of shit, and if you have to come back round here, there's tons of them, so just deal with them. There's a little item right here. Left? No? One of these things that just fucking scream shit at you. I'm just sick of their shit at this point, so I'm probably playing quite slow. In this room here, there's nothing. There's nothing in that room. Not even an item, nothing. So there's kind of like a little sort of, not technique, but like an efficient way of going about this next block. So you run up here and you jump off the roof here on that like ledge down there. And then we pull back the shortcut, but things on the roof are going to shoot you with magic. You could pick up the item on the ledge now, but you're going to get shot off with magic. So if you run up to the roof just now and kill them, when you drop off to get the items on the ledge, you get shot at, basically. This is the other side. That one where you got the tight items. Yeah, essentially.
Bro, I think Ron's asleep. Ron, are you alive, bro? Bro, go to bed.
Yeah, Ron, you're still alive, bro.
Ron, I can't bet you, bro.
Tournament squad last minute of the game. They won made 500.
passes so quickly and they fire off so quickly, I found it really hard to dodge. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but...
These tanks at Millwood Shield's pretty good.
Yeah, so I should probably mention this before, but we're using the Millwood Shield because it's got really good stability. It's a 100 block shield and it gives you a little bit of HP regen. It's super negligible, but it's still there.
This is magic.
It's a fan, bro.
It's
Not the PlayStation, it's the fan.
I mean, whatever its defenses are, it's decent. So as you saw, there was the bonfire, and then this is one of the shortcuts at the moment. So you can kind of see how it saves you running around, like past that bit where I killed all the Corvines to the right there. It saves you running back around that area. So I guess in a sense you didn't need to kill all of them. But if you fall down at any given point, then yeah, you do. So we're just ignoring all the things that are shooting you on the roof. It's too much of a pain in the ass to kill. We're just running into this bit here, and you don't need to do this because it's just a rusted coin, but drop down here to get a rusted coin, right? Just keep follow.
And you can climb the ladder again.
Actually, I don't know if that was a rusted coin, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, so you actually do want to drop down here. This is another one of the shortcuts. Well, it's not a shortcut actually. This one isn't a shortcut. This just leads out the door. But this is where you get the Slave Knight set. Now this set is fucking amazing. It's one of those armor sets where it has.
It's Gale's.
Yeah, it's Gale's armor set, but it's one of those armor sets where, for its weight, it has the absolute highest defense. So, like, it's just one of those you tend to do, like,
How metal.
well, it's
Just a meta slave.
So it's honestly, it's actually the armor set that I use as a base point for, like, if something's better or worse, it's that good. But now, for me personally, I mean, it's still.
Fuck it, bro. I'll do this shit tomorrow. I'll run. I'll see you, Jay. I'll wear though. Shove. Ah, for it.
Smith, are you going to bed? Yeah, you need to go to bed, bro. It is Punani. Yeah, it's Punani, bro. Good night, man. Sleep well.
I really like this thing a lot. I like it. So anyway, running this way, and there's a crystal lizard up here. It's quite hard to get. Thankfully I get it, but I have had it where it's ran off the side before. Another one of these Corvines show up.
This time wielding dual claws. This is extra edge.
Yeah. So you've already picked up these claws. That was the things that were on the roof. The claws are actually... I don't know if everyone that I was fighting was just an idiot, but in PvP, I found the claws to be really good. I really enjoyed them.
They are.
Hilariously, you get some amount of hyper armor on its weapon art, so people think they can just kind of start you out of it. They can't.
I've now just seen that Warcraft. Right, the battle charge thing, the sword art, where he just staggered it like 5 times and then R1'd it a bunch.
Yeah. So, down there is, like, we're basically on top of the building. So, I just cut out, I dropped down there for whatever fucking reason, so I just cut it back to where we were. So, we run up that side hill there, and we jump onto this roof of this little chapel. And, yeah, so there's a bit that you can drop down to here, as you see. Just be very, very careful. Drop off slowly. You don't want to overshoot it and then just fall down and have these 2 Corvines to deal with, because they will fuck you up.
The item is very much fake.
Yeah. So it's basically just a soul packet there, and there's a patrolling Corvine down here. The only real strategy that I could find for dealing with these guys is to essentially just run out of here as quickly as fucking possible.
You can plunging attack and then just two-handed R1 spam that guy.
I mean, you can, but basically what I'm saying
Controls
is, you can open this door here once you've acted that guy. The aggro leash for the other one isn't long enough, so as long as you've walked along the rafters to the door, you can come up here, and this bit is probably the most effective, like, point for fighting them, essentially, because you've got the cover of...
I've seen your kind, everything but in you for the act.
Bro, go fuck yourself, bro. Okay, at least I got what I wanted.
It does help quite significantly.
Throw knives at him.
Guy up here, that's
Land if they be cheeky.
do the thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're shit. It's shit. It doesn't do anything. It could have been amazing. Could have been amazing. Nothing. Doesn't do anything.
What is it meant to do?
It's dropped a young white branch which has absolutely zero utility at this particular point. And also the tree bitches they drop balloon skulls. I mentioned that in the last part, but I might as well just go over it again. And the Corvines don't drop anything. Drop large titanite shards, and at this point who gives a shit about large titanite shards?
Look at the state of them. They don't have anything to drop.
Okay, so you can kill this guy so fucking quickly with this particular weapon because of like its weapon art.
Just roll catch.
You can also do the thing as well, where you can like cheese him like any other NPC. If you type the R1, like the normal R1s enough, you can just like hit, run forward, hit, run forward, and you can do that one NPCs later on. Anyway, that's a contraption key. I'm gonna splice in some footage of fighting that guy properly now, but
I believe thou'rt the one of whom Uncle Gale the one to show. 'Tis good. The door is open, thank. 'Tis good. I promised Uncle Gale that.
generally you can see how he
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. His one is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's fucking beast. So you don't need to actually talk to her, but she's just an important NPC later on in terms of lore. Anyway, you run out this door, you've got down here, and then
So that you no longer have to go around that way. Amazing. Genius level.
So at this point, we're going to go back to further strength. Not more of our strength. At this point, if you have enough strength, I think you can consistently kill the Farron followers in 2 hits. Which is kind of what you want, because the next part is fucking freaking a Farron followers.
You
There's
get
so
to
many
build
of them.
with, when you build with the great axe, you can kill them in 2 hits.
So you shouldn't normal now with that.
No, I know, but if you dump into strength, you could also upgrade to the great axe if you wanted.
Interestingly, in relation to this weapon, when it comes to like fighting with deer, for example, the whole. So sell all your soul packs at this point, or like pop them or whatever, because we're just leveling in strength. But in terms of weapons, the amount of damage you actually do with this battle axe against Medeer is so close to like great axe damage. It's maybe like 100 points off, but considering that you attack so much faster, like the amount of DPS you get out of this weapon is like so much higher than Medeer. And a lot of the time you can actually hit Medeer more than once, when the whole strategy was basically just like hit Medeer once, run away, hit Medeer once, run away. But this weapon actually does a better job of that, which is really interesting.
Ashen one.
How easy is it to stagger?
You can't stagger Medeer.
Ah, right, then yeah, don't.
Ash for me. Very well, then take. Ashen one, may the flame.
Use the great axe, it's not quite. Actually, only use weapons like the great axe against bosses and dagger.
جهزنا for David. I'm finished. Tutoring city.